Hello, everyone. So glad you're here for the Speak and Flow podcast. I have an amazing leader today, Jacqueline Pruitt. She is special. She has risen from the top from some very difficult situations, environment. She is the founder of Marvelous Steel Placers, which has started in 2016. And Marvelous Steel Placers is rebar placement. So she has worked in an environment where it's men. And that's the reason why I have her here on the podcast today, because she's got some interesting journeys. It was not easy working in an all men, male dominated environment, installing iron, as an iron worker. So she had to prove herself. But I want to have her share her story. And before we go into that, Marvelous Steel Placers, that name, where did you get that?
That is my mother's name, Marvella. She passed away in 2009 when I was just I think I was about a second period apprentice. I had just been in less than a year. And after starting the company, I was, thinking of names and, I went to sleep one night, woke up, Marvella Steel Placers. She's my angel. She was my number one fan, and she cheered me on. The work in the industry is hard, so I need somebody to feed me and wash my clothes, and she was there for me for those first couple of months, me getting in.
Did she ever get concerned? She's like, "Are you sure you want to do that with all the men out there?" Did she ever say anything like that?
No, she raised me. She knew how it was. I was always out playing with the boys. I was on an all-boy basketball team, and
got it.
All my best friends were boys, a skateboard and rollerblades. So she knew I was in my natural environment.
And so what made you decide to go into to ironwork?
Well, I had a friend that was a carpenter, and I was supposed to be a carpenter, but this friend sent me over to a pre-apprenticeship school, and I had learned the different trades. And a guy there, he was like, "My uncle's an iron worker. I want to do that." I was like, "Iron worker?" They showed us how to tie on a piece of bar, and I just fell in love. So that pre-apprenticeship showed me and told me how to get into the union, but I had to call a list of contractors. And I called for like 3 months. Some people hung up on me. Some people even told me that women don't belong in this trade. And, there was a guy, fortunate enough, ran across a guy that wanted to piss everybody in the industry off and got me in. Okay.
Oh, really? Because he said, "I'm going to show that she can do this."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So he got you in.
Yeah, he got me in. He actually told me that he's going to help me. He said, would you be interested in starting your own company? I was like, yes. I've always had the entrepreneurial spirit. So he said he'll help me out once I journey out to start my own company. And then when it came that time and I told him I'm ready to start my own company, he was like, "Why would I help you? You be my competition." And
Wow.
but he's always provided me with opportunities. He made me a general foreman. He wanted me, he told me, I want you to be the vice CEO of a company. And he's wanted to start another company in Las Vegas. And he's like, "I want you to go out there and run that company for me." I'm like, "Guy, I'm starting my own company. What are you talking about?"
He knew your power. He knew your strength.
He did,
wanted
but
you to be on his side.
Yeah, and we're good for the fact that he provided me with many opportunities. I don't think he may have thought that I could do it. Once he saw I was doing it, he knew, I was coming, not that, I'm going to be like super competitive against him, but the industry is what it is. But bless his heart, he's passed away since.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's a real good man.
Yeah. I want to share with the audience, really, this is just a snapshot of where and how far you've come. So Jacqueline, in 2016, she bid for her first contract, and the value of that was $3,700. So this is her first contract. And then so she bid on it and she won it, her very first contract. $3,700. She's out there, she did it, and And now over the years between 2016 to 2019, 2023, 2019, 2023, the contract sizes that she's bidding on now, $11 million. $11 million. And her company brings in a revenue of 9 million, 7 million a year, 7 million,
yeah,
7 million a year. So just within that short time frame, you have grown tremendously and proven yourself. So I want to know, these years, what are some of your, like one specific challenge, like being in the field? What was that like as a woman? Do you have a specific story, or
I
you
have a
probably have a
bunch of
lot. You
I
have
have
a
a bunch
lot,
of
but
stories, yeah.
what is one that's just like, man, I remember that and that was not fun.
Well, they tried to make me Molly maid. The guys didn't know what to do with me. So I was cleaning up stuff, handing waters out, and
Yeah,
I told them I'm not here for this. I would have been a laborer. And I
right. But
came
then they
across a
did
guy.
that. Did you stop it right away, or you're doing it? You didn't do it at all, but they
No,
just,
no. And
wow.
now being a contractor, I see the importance of having women on the jobs. I
Yeah.
was what they would call checkerboarded. So I would go to they would send me to a job just to fulfill the women number, woman,
Right,
minority, and disadvantaged, right?
right.
Workers. So, I found myself going around to many different jobs, and a lot of the jobs that I went to, they had crews, they had regular crews. I was never a part of a regular crew.
Hmm.
I'd be
Right.
the probably the last one to come and the first one to go.
Yeah.
Um, but
What was that feel? What did that feel like for you?
it was very irritating. It was very irritating. And then, once I came across the guys that actually wanted to teach me something and keep me on their crew, it was a good deal. Cause after 2 years of you having me clean up and I'm still around and I'm jumping and jumping on the bars, carrying the bars with the guys every chance that I can get and running,
Hmm.
some guys saw that spirit that I
Hmm.
was capable of performing the duties that every other person there would do, and then
So
once
you had to actually like do more, like you were doing the cleaning and
oh
then
yeah,
all that, and then you had to
oh
actually
yeah,
do what they were doing and
oh yeah.
faster.
And I had to be smart. I stood out like a sore thumb,
Right.
a green hat in a red crowd. So,
Did they make fun of
um,
you? Did they say things that were like,
no, it
like,
actually turned around for me when I was out doing the guys, and they would use me to tell the guys, look, if she beats you, you're going home. And
hmm,
there's been a couple of there's a couple of there's actually a guy that's actually working for me now. He was we were same period apprentices. We did the same amount of work. He didn't come back the next day.
uh-huh,
So the day that he did come back, after he was, he did his Calgon or whatnot, he came back, they were talking crap. So
uh-huh.
the tables turned,
Yeah.
once I was provided the opportunity to perform and I performed well, it was like, oh, she's really serious about this. You
Yeah. Was there a moment where you weren't sure? Can I do this or
No, I,
no?
I, well, physically, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm always up for a challenge.
Hmm.
And I just put one foot in front of the other,
Hmm.
every day is a new day.
Hmm.
And I'm not gonna quit, especially after I got halfway through the apprenticeship. It's like, okay,
Hmm.
I'm making pretty good money, you
Hmm.
know.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the days go by quick,
Hmm.
and as people got to know me, it started getting easier and started getting better.
Right, right, right. So what would you give? What would you let people know in the time where they're not certain, right? Hey, should I be doing this? Like, what advice would you give, especially if they're primarily in a male dominated role, like where there's a male everywhere and they're a female? Any
Well,
advice you can give?
there's every industry, they have their grunt work, and I
Yeah.
had just had to make it through the grunt work part. So I kept my eyes on the prize.
Mm-hmm.
I picked up and paid attention as much as I can, because
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do is work smarter, not harder. And
Mm-hmm.
you also want to work from the neck up. but you have to work from the neck down until you can prove yourself. So keep your eyes on the prize. Never give up. You know, I believe that everybody is capable of reaching their goals. If, you know, it just takes consistency and persistency. You know, dreams demand hustle. So you have to put the footwork in. And just, you know, so the more that you put yourself in the position to get to your goals, that you'll meet people along the way that'll help you.
Right.
I've acquired a lot of male alliance.
Right.
You know, these are guys who have daughters.
Right.
You know, and you know, once you get enough people on your side, you know, you have a bunch of other people that are helping you row that boat to get you reach your goals. You know, the physical thing about it, I got in when I was at 20, I was 29 years old. And so physically, you know, for women, and we are built differently. Physically for women, you know, I had said, okay, I can't be doing this for 10 years. So I have to come up with a plan because I noticed that the foreman, the superintendent, they're not doing the physical work. So let me do whatever I need to do to get here as quick as possible. So by the time, before I even journeyed out, I was running work. So it was less physically demanding on my body. So I made it past that stretch, you know. So you know, just keep your eyes on the prize and keep steering forward.
So you had a plan. I mean, you knew you had to do something because the physical part of it was real.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's real. So you knew, so that actually propelled you to work smarter and have a plan, and then keep the eye on the prize. In your mind, what were you thinking is the prize?
The prize is have my own company. And I thought that I would get my own company, I would go and do a job, and I would get paid 5 times as much as what I make on, you know, working for someone else. And I did the contractor's license test. I did a little research on how to bid. I put together a little proposal. I bid on that job. I got the 3,700. I went to bill, and they told me that I won't get paid for 45 days. So I had payroll to make the next week. And so, yeah, it was not what I thought it would be. But I mean, that ultimately was the goal, to do that. But things have changed because that's not how contracting goes. So, you know, going from the $3,700 and having to cover the payroll for that to where I'm at now, I'm beyond my goal. It's completely, you know, I was headed this way, and they were like, okay, you can go this way, but look, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to do this. And I had no clue. I had no clue that the company would grow the way that it has, and I would be where I'm at today. So
yeah. And how have you been able to use your voice to say what it is that you want or don't want in that environment as you're growing, scaling?
how was I able to use my voice? I've come from pretty much the financial part of growing my company is work that I've done with my tool belt, money that I've saved, and just negotiating, you know, going to the contractor and saying, hey, I can do this for you, but I'm going to need this, and I'm going to need it quick. You know, it's 45 days. That's a very long time, you know, but I have the certifications. I'm capable. I have the manpower, you know, so it's just a matter of finding those people, once again, who are going to assist or help you with opportunities. Which
Were there
is
times where you weren't sure, like, of the person that you're saying what you want and you weren't sure if that was going to work? Yeah.
Every time I bid on a job, you know, every time I bid on a job, okay, especially with a new contractor. New contractors, this is a new relationship. It's like going to a new job as an apprentice. You
Oh
don't know
yeah.
who your boss is going to be. You don't know the
Right.
guys you're going to be working with and how they operate. So, you know, a lot of that plays a major part in how easy or difficult it's going to be. You know, there's difficult general contractors to work with. You know, they're not willing to assist. They feel, yeah, hey, you're in this arena, you gotta play ball with the best of them, which is fine. We're capable of doing that, you know. But at the same time, you know, I think there's a reason why there's not as many small women-owned successful businesses, because, you know, there's so many laws and ways of doing contracting that, you know, you can't learn this stuff in school. You know, you have to have mentors and allies and whatnot. So yeah.
And so you gave it up to your allies and mentors to support you on this when you feel like people are coming at you and they're saying, hey, you got to play ball,
Yes.
and putting this almost like a judgment.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. There's I still experience that. There's
Yeah.
I was at I went to a project to visit the job and see how my guys were doing. And, you know, I had people coming up to me like, what are you doing here?
Right.
And then my operations manager will come to, she's the owner of the company. And then, you know, their whole attitude turns completely around. And, oh, can I get you some water? Like,
Wow.
you know, how can you,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, it's people are still barbarians in a sense.
Yeah.
And caveman, you know, you
You're
know.
around, you're so, and so how do you, what do you do to do, like, are there things that you do when you know you're about to go into negotiations or something, and you might be dealing with a caveman, like, or cave woman or cave person? Are there things that, how do you support yourself, or what are some tips or techniques so that you can navigate it effectively?
I do a little research on who it is I'm meeting with, and if it's a man, I will send my operations manager, plain and simple.
Really?
You know,
Wow.
you know, if I'm dealing with a company that I know is woman friendly, small business friendly, then, you know, I'll go to bat myself.
Yeah.
But I
But
mean,
like you said,
that's
it's about the allies. You're finding your allies, and if you don't know who they are, you don't know if they're going to be your ally or not.
yeah, you never know until
You just
it
never know.
actually, you know, and I'm gaining more, you know, they come with the preconceived notions or whatnot, where I'm a Black woman, I don't know anything about rebar, and then after we perform, you know, now they're throwing us shots. So
Yeah.
it's you just have to get over that barrier that, you know, everybody has their what do you call prejudices and thoughts of just by looking at someone, you know, people, oh, that person's that way. But once, you know, you surpass that, once you get past that, then, you know, it's a different story. And that's been the story thus far, you know.
I mean, you get annoyed. You must get so frustrated, or how does that impact you?
Yeah, well, not really. I think that if one door is closed, there's others that are open. And I just, you know, I don't spend too much time trying to change anybody's mind or thoughts about me. You know, I rather spend time finding those who are willing to work with me. You know, I don't want to waste any time on trying to change anybody's perceptions or whatnot. I'd rather allow my work to do the talking, you know. So when I get in with these major contractors, and, you know, I get on a podium, and, you know, I have the major contractor saying that I'm good to work with, other contractors hear about that, then, you know, that kind of softens the need to have to do anything or say anything. Just allow the work to do the talking, you know?
Right. And so, like, you're so solid, and that this is we got this. Like, so then even if they have those thoughts, you're not going to fight it. Like, you know, your work speaks for itself, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah,
And,
like,
you know, and it once again, going back to my apprenticeship, which is I got a lot of experience in, you know, first of all, it was a culture shock because prior to, I was a drug and alcohol counselor at a women and children's facility. So I went from women and children to not women and children. Well, more
right.
children. Yes, but,
Still there. Yeah.
so you, I learned that, there's different personalities and
Yeah.
just different judgments, different things. And it's just really on me what I choose to deal with, what I choose to harbor, what I choose to fight, what I choose to flow with, and that's pretty much how I live my life as well. I don't deal with people who don't want to deal with me, or they, don't like me for a certain reason. There's no reason,
Mhm.
I'm not going to waste my time and energy putting into that. So I pretty much am, I'm pretty much like, I don't know. I just don't want to, fight the feeling or anything. So
Mhm.
I stick to those who, want to stick with me.
Mhm. 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 And let the work speak for itself.
And let the work speak for
Speak for
itself.
itself.
Let the work speak for
What
itself.
what one piece of advice would you give to someone that's feeling out of place? It may not, it could be a woman that's in a male dominated industry, or it could be a gay person and primarily a heterosexual in a place that you just feel out of place and may feel judged. What one piece of advice would you give?
You are who you are, and
Mhm,
you can't really change that.
mhm,
Only thing that you can do is be a better you. I always strive to be a better me. I'm
mhm,
all constantly in environments where I am the only of one of those. Either the only female, I'm the only African American, I'm the only gay person. It's like
mhm.
almost, especially in construction, specifically in construction. Um, but it's like, you know, this guy, God, and has put me in these environments for a
Oh,
reason,
right, right, right.
and times are changing, things are
Yeah,
changing, the faces of companies are changing. We're
right.
we're turning a new corner. You watch TV, and there's more black sitcoms, there's more gay sitcoms.
Mhm,
The world is changing out of the
mhm,
caveman barbarian
mhm, mhm.
mindset. So just stick with your gun. There's a reason why you're there, and it either is to open the door for
Mhm.
others, or it's to show the people that you're there that whoever you are is not who they think you are.
Yeah, I
And
love
you
that. And
have
you might be that
opportunity
person. You might be that light to show them something different.
to show them something
You
different.
probably are,
Exactly.
like you said, you God has put you in these really difficult, different situations, different environments. And look at that, you show them you are different.
Right.
And so what
Yes.
about their voice? What if they're feeling like they can't say anything? I don't know if I should say anything. Advice would you give to help unleash their leadership voice, the leader within?
um I'm very quiet myself, and
Uh-huh.
I don't really I'm not like hey, I'm gonna go and just start a whole conversation with somebody. I'm
Mhm,
getting better at that, be it
mhm,
that I have to. I'm the face of the company.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
but use your you have a thing called a gut. I have a gut.
mhm,
You have a
mhm,
spirit, you have a heart,
mhm.
and you should have maybe some sort of connection with a different type of power that will guide you
Yeah,
into what to say, when to say it. There's a lot of
yeah.
times that I, after something is done, I'm like, dang, I wish would have said that. But at the
Mhm.
end of the day, what was said is what needed to be said. And there's no
Right,
changing the past.
right.
So everybody has a voice,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like your voice will be heard when it's meant to
Mhm.
be heard,
I
and
love that.
it'll
Mhm.
come to you. Whatever comes to you will come to you, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Drop into your gut, drop into that higher self, that higher power, and trust that it was enough or it is enough.
Right. Yep.
Drop the mic.
Drop the mic.
Done.
Yep. Mic drop. Yes.
Awesome. Oh, that was wonderful. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for sharing some of these vulnerable experiences that were difficult and allowing us to see how you rose from the top and rose to success and continue to rise. I wish you much blessing and continued success. It's an honor getting to know you. Thank you so much and
as well.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining the conversation today. Are you curious on how you measure up with your ability to speak in flow? Come grab my free self-assessment at https://speakinflow.com/assessment. And I'll see you on the other side.